The Crucible crowd, we had oohs and ahs all around. This was very close.
A similar shot, albeit on the other side of the table, with which Hendry started his 91 break in the decider yesterday against Ken Doherty.
1.
Well, he's left with a tester here. If he takes the black on, he's going into the reds. The reds over the corner pocket, up to the left of the brown. It's a must-pot situation here.
Excellent shot.
8. 9. 16.
Bit awkward queuing. He might take a red to the middle pocket. Yeah, I thought that was a bit of a stretch there. There's one that'll go into the middle and he can get onto the blue, but this is a bit awkward bridging over the reds and pink there. It's quite straightforward to knock this one into the middle and stun over to the right side of the blue.
$17. 22. 23. 28.
Always had this red in reserve if he came the wrong side of the blue.
Yeah. 29.
It really is a fascinating battle. You've got a player here who I think could go on to be the greatest player that's ever played the game, up against, for me, the greatest player that's ever picked up a snooker cue. And I think even the great Steve Davis has conceded that fact as well.
34. 35. 42.
Good start
43.
from Ronnie O'Sullivan. I do hope that both players play at the top of the form. It will be a fascinating semi-final, this.
O'Sullivan's picked up where he left off against Stephen Lee last evening. 10-all, he finished that match off with an 80
58.
and 2 centuries.
$59.
And just look at the position he's in here. It's take your pick time. Get 3
64.
reds in a row.
65. $72. 73.
Well, to make his century, he's going to have to get
80.
from yellow to green.
81. $87. 88.
Very quick, very sure. The break only just reaching the 6-minute mark.
$95.
So this,
97.
Clive, will be 3 centuries and 4 frames, you would have to say.
100.
Spread across 2 matches.
104.
But what a tremendous start. One chance and it's all over.
109. 115.
A superb effort of 115 gives Ronnie O'Sullivan the first frame of a possible 33.
57.
Pink and black still needed, and he's straight on the pink.
That's what I mean with that pink being on the blue spot. Look what he's going to be left with if he rolls the pink in. Is it going to be 3-1 or is it going to be 2 each?
63.
So, after all,
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 63.
it's not going to be 3-1 to O'Sullivan,
Thank you. Quietly, please.
assuming Hendry pots this. Hendry first in with 65. O'Sullivan had a chance to clear.
One.
Excellent red, and also got into the cue ball sufficiently to get above the blue.
And what about that
6.
for perfect judgment?
Seven.
A nice little cannon onto the red there at the back of the bunch will hold the cue ball nicely.
$14. 15. 20. 21.
Ronnie O'Sullivan opened this afternoon with a break of 115. He's going to finish with a few here, I feel.
28. 29.
He really is something special to watch. You could watch him all day.
37.
He's a wonderful break builder, particularly
44.
in the way he keeps going into the bunch to develop rates.
45. $52. 53.
Simply because O'Sullivan has 4 times been the odd frame in front, I think he has shaded this session. And here's his chance to reflect that
60.
by taking the last frame of the afternoon to secure a 2-frame overnight advantage.
$61.
Just needs one more red. And it will be 5-3.
68. $69.
The highest break of the session, as we mentioned, that break of 115 in the opening frame by Ronnie. Can he finish with a century?
76. 77. $84. 85.
O'Sullivan is good in all departments, but in terms of reeling off frame-winning breaks,
92.
he's simply superb.
93.
Can't score enough to overtake Matthew Stevens' break of 145, the highest in this
99.
year's Embassy World Championship, and there's £20,000 for the high break.
He first to make the century. The break of 99 secures for O'Sullivan a 5-3 overnight lead.
One.
You've got to knock a high percentage of those sort of shots in at this level, because so often they give you the initial chance.
Four.
It's extremely important in this second session of 4 that Hendry doesn't fall further behind.
Five.
O'Sullivan started
10.
with a break of 115 yesterday. 4 times went the odd frame in front and eventually got 2 in front.
11.
Winning their last frame of the day with a break of 99.
I'm sure Stephen there played upon the blue so he could cannon into the bunch. He didn't find the angle, but he's played a good
16.
positional shot there. He's just got to judge as this cue ball runs into other reds. He's got the red into the right corner. As he pots it, he will be releasing a few more reds. And he couldn't have played that better. That was an excellent shot.
Twenty-four. $25. $32. $33.
Well, you can always tell with a player if he gets down pretty quick, he's happy with the potting angle. Although he looks a little bit straight, but probably straight is okay. Swinging back for a choice of reds. One in the left centre, this one in the right
40.
corner. It's quite amazing, really, when Stephen came to the table. I thought it was his turn to break off. Referee Aaron Williams said, no, it's Ronnie's break. So Ronnie came to the table because I don't think he was sure. He broke off. Stephen knocked in a
41.
tremendous long red, and this is the result. Talk about toss of a coin.
Well, Hendry hasn't won this frame yet, but he's certainly got a chance to do so.
$48. $49.
With the cluster open, Hendry will be very disappointed if he doesn't clinch the frame at this visit.
$56.
He did make a couple of unexpected errors yesterday when he seemed to be heading for a frame-winning contribution. Although, strangely enough, he ended up winning both those frames.
$57.
The black, one more red and a colour is what's required. He's probably a little bit thinner on this black than he would have liked. But in it goes. Nicely on the next red.
64.
Tough school, this. Well, Sullivan just broke off.
65.
Looks as though it's going to be his only shot in the frame.
Knowledgeable applause
71.
for that simple pink.
72.
It was the ball that guaranteed Hendry the frame, barring snookers.
$79. $80. $86. 87.
A long red to start with, and then slide rule precision.
$92. 93. $105. $107.
Well, this has just been a tremendous start from Stephen. I remember you saying yesterday, Clive, you didn't think that Stephen would really be happy until he won a frame at one visit. Well, you don't come any better than this.
110.
From the break-off, never gave his opponent a chance. Superb start to the morning.
114. 119. 125 on the frame.
O'Sullivan broke off, but the next 35 shots were Hendry's. His break of 125 halves his overnight deficit, but he still trails by 5 frames to 4.
1.
Listen, Ronnie's reaction when he missed the red, he wasn't happy at all. Probably a little bit frustrated he lost the last frame. There's been some great matchups in snooker, hasn't there, Clive? You can think of Reardon Higgins.
7.
Here's Ronnie's reaction. You got Reardon Higgins,
8.
then you had Steve Davis Higgins, and then Steve Davis Jimmy White, but this one is a bit of a matchup to compare with any of those, I think. Hendry or Sullivan.
Yes, there's a touch of
13.
the old king versus the new king about it. But at the moment, Hendry is playing like the king of the 90s. He was.
$20. 21.
Hendry hasn't been all that successful on the circuit this season. He's won only one title, the European Open. But in a sense, he's always regarded all the other tournaments as preparation for this
26.
one, the climax of the season.
27.
The one which counts more than all the others put together in terms of status and standing in the history of the game.
Well, for one moment I didn't think he was going to be on a red. Didn't hit the pink foe as he intended. Cue ball looked as though it could go in off in the corner. Just watch the cue ball. I thought for 1 minute may going off, slid round the jaws, and a red appeared from nowhere. Just having a little run at the moment, Stephen. Best of 33 though. It should even itself out. And when you get the run of the balls, take advantage while you can.
.33. Too far for the simple pink that he was intending to leave, though. Wanted to be straighter.
.39.
Still not all that difficult, though, the way he's playing.
.40. .46. .47. .53.
I'm sure when Stephen started this morning, 5-3 behind, the first thing you wanted to do
54.
was level the frame scores in this match. He's got every chance to do that now. This is the last frame before the mid-session interval. So Ronnie, there's still a bit of sleep
60.
in his eyes. He's looked in good form. It's just the frame winning
61.
chances seem to have just fallen to Stephen rather than him. He's nothing to panic about. Apart from the fact that Stephen Hendry is in as good a form as I've seen him
67.
for many a long year. He really is. And he, of course, he's up
68.
for this, as Ronnie is. And it's just like two people saying to one another, look, I can do this, and the other one saying, I can do this. And it's just a great matchup, this. Probably the greatest player that's
74.
ever played against the most naturally gifted player that's ever played. Who do you fancy?
75. .81.
The frame was long since won when Hendry developed that red into a potable position.
82.
He really is going well. And above all, he's shown O'Sullivan that in no way
88.
is he afraid of him.
89.
By his choice of shot, by his attitude, Hendry is carrying the fight to the defending champion all the time.
95.
Well, Clive, I'm certain you'll tell us how many centuries rates this is, but he certainly loves the centuries, Stephen. Go in. Well played. Superb stuff. It really is.
102. 104.
Century number 568.
$107.
At his first visit to the table this morning, Hendry made a break of 125.
111.
This is his last visit before the mid-session interval.
$116.
And it's produced another superb century.
122.
And with that break of 122...
So the first good chance falls to Stephen. Of course, he would have been rattled by losing the last frame, which he had two very good chances to win. And, well, he could be forgiven for thinking that he's playing this frame and he should have been playing for a 10-6 lead going into the third session. Now the best he can do is a two-frame advantage, although he's certainly settled for that, having lost the first session 5-3.
9.
You can feel the tension
16.
in the crucible. As soon as the player gets down to play
17.
the shot, there's a hush descends, and then they pot it, and he starts coughing, and you can hear the little chuntering. This is a match, though, that's caught everyone's
22.
imagination.
23.
Well, a little bit further than he would like, but shouldn't be a problem. Stun the black, cannon a red to hold at this end. Well, didn't even have to do that. And has found a gap for a red in the
30.
right corner. Looks like a very good chance this now.
31. $38.
It's starting to look as if O'Sullivan will be 2 frames behind.
39.
Going into this evening's penultimate session.
$46.
Yes, and in simple terms, what it means that Stephen Hendry lost the first session 5-3, 8 frames in the first 3 sessions, 9 in the final one. He lost 5 of the first 8. But in this second session, he's going to win it by
54.
6 frames to 2.
55.
Which is a good performance against anyone, particularly the form that Ronnie O'Sullivan was in. In the last frame, Clive, you were questioning whether Ronnie was just beginning to crack slightly.
62.
Well, under the onslaught of breaks that Stevens made this morning, anyone would have been forgiven for
63.
thinking, well, when am I going to get a turn?
68.
This red will clinch it. Now 69 points
69.
in front. With only 67 left on the table, pink to come, so I don't think Ronnie will be getting another chance this frame. But there's only 2 frames in it, with 2
75.
sessions to go. Another possible 17 frames to play.
76.
But Stephen has certainly stamped his authority on this one.
He develops another red.
83. '84. '91. 92. 97. 98.
So here comes Hendry's 3rd century of the session. And if Hendry was on the back foot for most of yesterday afternoon,
104.
he's been scoring all round the wicket this morning.
Yes, Clive, sensational stuff, and
110.
a challenge for Ronnie O'Sullivan. We've well documented
112.
what he said, what he was going to do to Stephen in this match. And Stephen's at the top of his game. So a challenge for the young pretender.
115.
Can he come back and cope with the 7 times world champion?
119. 124.
124, his 3rd century of the session. Stephen Hendry leads 9-7 going into the penultimate session.
Switch it off, please.
Always going to be a problem with this amount of people in the audience that somebody may have forgot to switch their phone off. That's what happened there. Hopefully it's not going to disturb this shot. Clearly it hasn't. He's looking somewhere near back to his best. I mean, this morning's session, 3 centuries and 18 250s, and a horrible kick there, but he's not done too much damage. He would have been perfect on these 2 reds, apart from the kick. Just watch the cue ball. There's the bounce, which meant that it made the white come a little bit narrower than it would have done. So a little bit of work to do now from this next positional shot, where there wouldn't have been before.
Nine.
Here's the kick, you see, but sometimes you can get a kick that helps you, and I think that's one of the times, because he had to flick off the pack there and he actually brought another red into play. So not all kicks are bad for you.
16. 17. 24. 25.
Well, 4 reds, 4 blacks. Pink not in play at the moment.
33. $40. 41.
Couple of loose reds to play for, but may take this opportunity to pot the black and cannon into the main bunch. Well, it's pretty good. I don't know whether he's on a red that he can
48.
play for the black.
Well, the way these reds are split, if he has to get a pair of step ladders out here, he'll try and get on the black somehow. But I agree with you, John, it's not natural to get on the black, but these reds are now absolutely perfect. If you can get the next red and get on the black, I think it's time to sit very quietly. Ronnie knows that
56.
this first frame now can only go astray for Hendry if, in trying to get onto the black, he misses an easy shot because the balls are in a perfect
57.
position. This championship's had everything but a 147. Just lovely to watch Hendry go for the 147. He never plays the wrong shot, always gets high on every ball to make sure he's got choices. This is
65.
such a chance.
Frame obviously is very important. This black and one more red would clinch the frame. Missed the cannon. Played a cannon.
72.
And having missed it, the red for the frame is now not a formality. Just played to nudge that line of 3. This red for the frame, I don't think he'll try and hold for the black, will he? Well, he did, and he has. Tremendous shots.
Well, we talk about Jimmy White being the best player in the world with the rest. That was up there. That was a fabulous shot to hold for the black from that angle. If he does go on to make a 147, that'll be one of the shots for the championship without any doubt. To hold the cue ball from a quarter ball pot is fantastic, especially with the rest. This will open up the only 2 safe reds unless he catches them thick. The only reason that's stopping Stephen playing this is because if he doesn't run through enough, he'll have no black. That's why he's taking the slightly more difficult red.
81. $88. 89.
He may just risk playing this kiss now because he's only got one more chance after this. Could play for the loose one. Now that is good play for me because he might not have had another chance.
And if the red he's closest to goes in the middle, it's okay. And I'm sure it does.
96.
It's all about this shot. This is the only one that can go wrong now if he doesn't get high enough on the reds. He'll play for both reds. He won't play for one of them. He'll play for both of them. This is perfect. This is perfect. Go on, my son.
104.
Don't believe it, a mobile phone's gone.
Quietly, please.
Thank goodness for that.
105.
Not perfect on this black. Needs to hold it. Half ball ready needs.
Well, he's thinking of holding for the red in the middle. I don't know. If he's got the angle, why not run her through off the side cushion? But every shot now is a big pressure shot. He's stunned up. He's on the red. There's £167,000 at stake here
112.
on every shot he plays from now on.
He's going to have to come across for the black in the same pocket as the red. I can't believe it. There's another phone got off. Come on, Stephen. Plain ball this black. It's a natural angle to go on the yellow. I just wonder whether he's going to play at one cushion or two. No, no. Oh, no! It was absolutely perfect on the yellow. What a terrible shame for not only the crowd, the commentators, Ronnie O'Sullivan alike. That was a fantastic effort.
1. Six. 7. 14.
Certainly doesn't want to finish too straight on this black. That's why he's purposely left it high.
15.
Stun up and down off one cushion for the red that's nearest the cue ball. Not the perfect angle.
No, he didn't
22.
quite get into that black enough.
23.
And he's not played that well either. He's played for the black and he's overcooked it. You can only see a red at the baulk end now. It's a thin black. don't think it's the type of shot you want to be playing with a lot of right-hand side to try and cannon into the cluster here. There's reds in the ball, Ken, to play for. Well, he did play the cannon in the cluster. That was a brave shot, and he's got a reward.
30.
Yes, it was excellent. He may have to just flick off a red here. I don't know whether he can screw direct for the black. Yes, he's flicked off a red. Another very
31.
clever shot. He's unlucky to put another couple of reds safe. This is the shot that split the pack, which he played with just a trace of check side. Just there's the white look checking up. Deserved to be on a red playing it like that. I'm sure one of these reds will go somewhere at the bottom of the pack. Well, the top one near the pink must go, because he wouldn't have played it that hard otherwise.
38.
Yes, there you can see, definitely can see the middle of the pocket. You can't see the left-hand jaw. Got to be careful.
$39.
Yes, he had a close look. I wondered if there was a plant into this corner pocket. He may have looked at that, will he?
45.
Looks very close to a plant. Yes, it was.
46.
Got a lovely touch, as Ronnie O'Sullivan, when he's in like this.
I know we've had some great matches. You always mention the John
52.
Higgins, Matthew Stevens semi-final last year. Both players scoring very heavily, but these two players just purely one visit snooker.
53.
You can't play better than these two guys are playing.
$58. 59. 65. 66.
Well, once again, one visit snooker, the black to make the frame safe.
$73. 74.
And Stephen, well, he was snookered on the black, and it was a tricky one. He just left one red. But such is the high standard that my colleague Woody Thorne
81.
has mentioned. It's incredible snooker.
80.
Considering the pressures, it's the semi-final of the World Championship. They couldn't
89.
play any better of this in the local club, with no pressure at all.
90.
This is a tremendous break from Ronnie. This is the best he's produced today for me. And I think that was all the talk at the interval, because Stephen Hendry, to me, particularly today,
97.
has been the stronger player. He's outplayed Ronnie. But the main thing is, you look at the scoreboard,
98.
and after this frame, Stephen Hendry will only be one frame in front. Marvellous century. Marvellous.
Century number 290 for this young man.
104.
The blue 109, so a possible 136. All records are going to be broken this year at the Crucible. We're now just one short of the record
109.
ever at the Embassy World Championships, and we've got another 2 half matches to go and all the final. A new record is bound to be set now.
Nice. 114.
Two of the most naturally talented players ever to play the game are playing against each other, and it's like a boxing match.
118.
Blow for blow, century for century, break for break.
123.
Not even bothered with the black. We know you couldn't get the highest break of the tournament. Stephen Hendry can only sit there and admire that very, very good break from O'Sullivan. A 1-2-9 to get back within one frame at 11 frames to 10.
Nice. 1.
Just a straightforward pot. He's nicely on the blue. And this is where, all throughout this match,
6.
Stephen has been scoring very heavily. And particularly now, he's
7.
got the black in the open, the pink in the open, blue on its spot. How many can he make?
$14. 15. 22.
Hard pill to swallow when you haven't really played a bad shot, as Ronnie's not done in this frame. Stephen threw the
23.
red and then missed the brown and left Ronnie nothing on. He played a shot to nothing. Stephen then got a snooker at the next shot. And now he can only sit and watch and probably think that that was his last shot in this frame. City is the standard. You don't expect him to
30.
break down before he gets 50.
31. 38.
That's really the view from our commentary box. And
39.
Stephen, as per usual, taking these very nicely, nice control of the cue ball. Tried to develop those two reds. He's got this red.
46.
He's got one more in the open, and then he's got to start playing good positional shots. So that's why he tried to develop
47.
those two reds near the top cushion, but he hasn't. So, what does he need? 55
54.
points in front. That red,
55.
the black, 63. He'll need one more red and a colour after this black. Played to perfection.
62. 63. 70. Okay. 71.
I'm sure if he pots the black, it's not going to be easy to get on the next red unless he can disturb a red into play after this black. But he'd be 79 in front with only 59 left. Well, he's got the chance to cannon.
$78. 79.
So there's no way that Ronnie O'Sullivan will be coming back to the table
86.
in this frame. As you say, he did nothing wrong. Just a
87.
few little rubs of the green that went Stephen's way rather than his, and that's the nature of snooker. Table 12 foot long, 6 foot wide, and
93.
22 balls on it. He had
94.
it clustered. But Ronnie shouldn't be disheartened. And that's his 5th century of the match.
100.
He's not bothered about the red.
Yep.
He's won it. Ronnie concedes, obviously. So Stephen Hendry with another century gets back to 2 frames in front. 12-10.
It's there.
1.
Well, if anyone can make a comeback, it's got to be Ronnie O'Sullivan.
8.
But what a tall order.
Nine. $16. $17.
That's a well-executed shot. Just swinging the cue ball in between yellow and brown. But just another 2 inches of pace would have been better. That's why I'm looking at the much more difficult yellow. Not quite nicely enough on the blue. Certainly got into that, I think, too much.
19. $20.
No player has ever won the Embassy World Championship for the first time and come back and defended it. Ronnie O'Sullivan is attempting to do that, but
25.
he's got very few chances left. Can't afford to
26.
make a single mistake.
Now that would need an awesome performance to win 5 on the trot without a missing ball,
32.
especially as that young man is in tremendous form.
33.
This is the key shot. It's not perfect. Well, he made it look very, very simple. What a lovely shot. That could be a frame winner.
40. $41. Yes, okay. 48. 49.
That's a good angle on the pink to get to the last red, which was the most difficult. So this is the shot. Hasn't got too much to do with the cue ball.
55. $56.
This is a brilliant break under the circumstances.
62.
He made a bad
64.
break-off shot. Stephen Hendry looked like he was going to clinch the match until he ran slightly out of position when going into the reds. This match
67.
is still alive.
76.
He's got an awful long way to go, but what a start for the recovery. That magnificent break of 82 pulls the frame back for Ronnie O'Sullivan. It was close.
There was an awful lot of pressure on that one, though. OK, he's some 49 points in front, but if this red goes in, Hendry will be taking on in a moment. And he gets on the blue, kisses the pink. Who knows, that 41-point lead could evaporate very quickly. 49-point lead, I should say. Well, it's not a bad little flick on the black. He can go into the two reds off the black. Never misses a chance to win frame at one visit, and this is a chance.
8. Nine.
There's a hush come over the Crucible Theatre. There's so much pressure on this possible clearance, but the chance
15.
is there.
Well, if this was the first frame, you would think it'd be a certainty.
16.
But this is the frame to get into his 9th World Championship final.
He's already won a record 7. The one he lost was to his good
22.
friend Ken Doherty. Ronnie can't do anything about this. He's got to just hope that Stephen makes a mistake.
He played that last shot with the rest to the inch. Ronnie now knows that
29.
only a little twitch from Stephen Hendry, a pressure shot that he could snatch at. That's the only thing that can stop Hendry clearing
30.
up from here.
Played to perfection.
36.
We've had everything in this match.
38.
Two of the greatest players in the game going head to head with quite a bit of needle. Stephen Hendry was a man
41.
on a mission.
$45.
He's going to
50.
need the black as well. This would put him 7 in front. This has been, in my opinion, one of his greatest performances. An absolutely unbelievable match, a fantastic clearance. Stephen Hendry's in his 9th World Championship final, and the way he played here, who says he won't win it?